All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be finally doing my review for the season 10 bonus episodes finale. Here's Negan. Oh man, and spoiler warning if you guys have not seen this episode yet. Finally, it has aired now on AMC Premiere, AMC Plus if you guys have it. If you don't, you can watch it Sunday night, or you can sign up to get AMC Plus to go ahead and get to see this episode. So this makes this, I guess, the 22nd episode, is that right? Of The Walking Dead Season 10, because it's the final episode of the bonus episodes. So, man, we really needed this one. The bonus episodes have been so-so as we've kind of gone through things here, but we kind of thought that maybe they had a special one for us for the finale with the Here's Negan episode. And I have to tell you guys, very, very happy with how this episode turned out. I wasn't sure at first because after we saw episodes 4 and 5 and, 2 as well, I thought that maybe they wouldn't be able to do, as good of a job with Here's Negan as I would have wanted, but this was fantastic. This almost felt like a movie for Negan, like a Walking Dead special. They could have even maybe done this as like a movie type of thing for it, but it also works as kind of a bonus episode finale for Negan. So we get to see some different timelines throughout this one. We get to see the present timeline. We get to see kind of earlier in Negan's life, right back after he was a high school gym teacher. And then we get to see him, special moments with Lucille throughout as she's kind of getting sick, more sick because of her cancer. And then also with this gang that is beating up Negan for information. And I am actually quite surprised they were able to get this episode done given the situation that we've been in. Because the other bonus episodes, if you look at a lot of them, they just have a couple characters in them. And they really feel very kind of closed off. But this episode doesn't feel that way. You have a good number of different characters in it. We even have, spoiler warning, a special appearance, I guess, of Laura, which was kind of fun to see. Because, kind of forgotten about her for a little bit. She was with the Saviors, afterwards and stuff. And so she ends up being the person who originally gives Negan Lucille, the Bat version, right? That he goes ahead and uses afterwards and kind of becomes the infamous Lucille that we saw in the Season 7, premiere and everything. And by the end of this episode, it is split. And so he kind of puts Lucille, the Bat, to rest. So we start the episode off. We've got Maggie and Herschel kind of walking through. We sort of have eyes on with Negan and Carol, and then we go into kind of what we had sort of expected to see, which is that most likely they would banish Negan. They would kick him out and force him to leave the council apparently, but it seems to be just maybe a Carol decision to go ahead and get him to leave. Brings his stuff with her, at least the jacket and whatnot. And then he goes back to the site where we had the final battle of the all-out war. So Season 8's kind of finale there. If you guys remember back where you had, Rick and Negan fight it out in front of the tree with kind of the stained glass ornament there, which is kind of on it. And so he digs the place up to get Lucille the Bat back. And it's pretty awesome, man. There's even a part with a flashback with the Rick scene in it in this one, which I absolutely loved, because it fit into context with this one, so they were able to go ahead and use it. But anytime you can bring mentions of Rick, flashback scenes of Rick, they don't have to be new. You can have them just be from an episode prior. I always get kind of, it always feels special to me every time Rick is in anything nowadays. So very cool. So he kind of goes through, you have Negan And so you have the different parts of Negan. He's sitting in front of the fire, I guess sort of thinking back, and you have sort of the savior version of Negan who's kind of in his ear talking to him, calls him a cult of personality clown with no cult, which I like, and he's got Lucille and everything. Now, the episode goes through, we get to kind of go back and see all the different stuff with his wife, Lucille, played by Negan in real life's wife, Hilary Burton Morgan, and I thought it was amazing, man. Really some amazing stuff throughout this episode. Some of the saddest scenes of the whole series. You know, I felt like after watching this, if people never read Here's Negan from the comic, if they never really were into the comics, and that's fine, most viewers probably are not, to get to see this part for Negan, I think will really humanize him a lot. So people who hated him before, if they watch this episode through, by the time we get to the end of the episode, they may feel, they may like Negan more. You know, he's a screw up. He's not a great husband. His wife has cancer. He has not been faithful to her. I get the sense from the episode here that it is with this Janine person is her name, I think, which is like, it seems like to me is like one of her friends. That's the way I kind of interpreted that, if I don't have that wrong. So, you know, he never was a good guy. even before he was a high school teacher, but he got fired because he beat a guy up in a bar fight over Lucille's song. And ends up getting fired as a teacher because people recognize him as a local high school teacher. So he's like talking trash to kids playing video games with them. We get the sense that he's basically unemployed. He's like buying shit like the jacket, but you know, he can't really afford it. His wife's yelling at him and stuff because he's not, you know, he's kind of like a has-been teacher, and he's not staying active. He's not working and stuff like that, so she's having to take care of everything and whatnot. So, and he's spending money too at the same time. So it's just, you know, you get this. I just felt like it humanized him so much, and to get to see he's always been he's a screw up. He's kind of always maybe been a screw up, but at the same time, you know, he really did. Even though he messes up just about everything. We get to see in this episode that he really did love his wife. He really, really did love Lucille. And I won't lie, I did shed a few tears through some of the scenes. There's the one where he's singing to her and stuff like that. You Are So Beautiful is, you know, and you get to see them kind of going through spending time after he finds out that he has cancer, or she has cancer and everything. She finds out she has cancer. And so I thought those were some beautiful scenes. Very heartfelt, you know, they're both kind of crying, that kind of stuff. It was so sad. Some of the saddest stuff in The Walking Dead. And I thought, like, man, as I'm watching, I'm like, I know a lot of people didn't like Negan before, but after you watch this episode, you know, I think, like, everybody's got to like him. And he's such a screw-up to where, you know, they have kind of the drip bags or what have you for her treatment, and they're in the zombie apocalypse, and so she's getting these. He's kind of figured out a way to make shift with a generator and whatnot and ice to give her treatment still. They're spending time, they're watching movies, reading books, stuff like that, and sort of their own little private kind of end of the world situation, husband and wife, as her health is kind of going down. And you get the sense that maybe she has some worse days and some good days where she's feeling better and not, after maybe she gets some of the bags and whatnot. And then eventually the generator, which they've been having some trouble with, kicks off. And so she wants him to just stay with her. But he's got to be the hero, and he's got to go out and try to get more of the bags for her. But, you know, again, just by the time he finally gets back to her, it's too late. So he's such a screw-up, he's not even able to be there for her final moments. And I do remember going into this episode, there were a few people that were kind of complaining, or I don't know, some of the girls or whatnot were saying, like, they thought it was weird that they used his actual wife in real life to play Lucille in the episode. But as I was watching it, I was thinking, like, you could not have cast anybody better in the world than her, because it just makes it real, right? As you're watching the scenes through, I can just imagine in my mind that basically, you know, they're not even acting, but what they're almost doing is they're going through a hypothetical situation of what would happen if he lost her. You can see the pain in both of their eyes. You can just see everything through, and man, it made it one of the saddest episodes ever, but also just a tragic kind of ending, that he does end up getting the stuff he needs, but by the time, maybe a Romeo and Juliet type of thing, by the time he gets there, unfortunately, so he fights tooth and nail to get it, and he gets there, and she's opted out at that point. But she does leave him a note, "Don't leave me like this," type of thing, as she had ended it herself, I guess, before that had happened. And so he ends up kind of burning the place down and kind of transforming into what we think of now as the savior boss, as savior leader Negan. So it's good stuff. I liked the mobile clinic part that was kind of going around with Laura and was it her dad or what have you that she was with, and kind of this gang that he gets involved with to kind of beat him up to get the information to find the stuff. And then also enjoyed that when it was all said and done, he ends up going back there and kind of rescuing them and using Lucille for the first time. Pretty awesome. So, I liked even, so we go kind of from there. We're jumping around a bit with the different timelines and everything. But it was cool to see even the current date scenes when he's at the special spot that all that war finished. It's awesome to see just the emotion of him with Lucille when she had her cancer, when that was coming down, and even the scene when she finds out and he's not even there for that. He's just such a screw up, right? He can't do anything right, but she loves him anyway. It's just kind of like, it's so sad. And then kind of going from there up back until present time of him finding the bat, finding that it has been split at this point, and so him kind of putting it down. So and then deciding. So then at the end of the episode, instead of leaving like I thought he was going to do, I thought he would leave for good, and that was it. He says, "Screw it, no." He's going back, and he doesn't care. And if Maggie kills him, then so be it. Maggie kills him, right? So it's good stuff. So for a score for the episode, considering given the situation and comparing it to the other bonus episodes and what we saw with those, we even had Maggie, Carol, a little bit of Daryl there at the end just for a quick second. But because of that, and just the raw emotion of how sad this is, because this really is one of the saddest episodes of The Walking Dead ever. I have to say, maybe the saddest for me anyway. Especially one that I guess it does include a character death, even though it's in a kind of a flashback sequence and everything. But I thought it was an amazing episode, man. And you guys knew I would like it going into it because I'm such a huge fan of Negan. But after reading, here's Negan, the comic version, and getting to see this, on screen with the bonus episode finale version, I have to say that, yeah, I do think this is superior to it. There was some cool stuff in the comic where you got to see some different action stuff of him kind of going from maybe the part where he's with Laura and is it her dad, and kind of building up the Saviors, which was not in this episode. This was more of a... It almost feels like it's more important that we get to see that relationship between them and everything, so it was worth it. Maybe in the future, probably won't see it, but it could be cool to kind of see the start of the Saviors and how that built up. They probably won't do it, but I have to say that I am so happy that they were able to get this episode done before the Walking Dead television series ends. I think it's one of my favorite episodes ever. I'm going to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. It's really a memorable episode. It's really amazing. And it made the bonus episodes worthwhile because I'd have to say, out of all the bonus episodes, this one is definitely the best. There's no question about it. It's really great for Negan as a character. I hope that in the future, maybe even after the Walking Dead series ends, they could use him in maybe the anthology series. They could use him maybe in the Daryl Carroll spinoff somehow. Not sure exactly how that's going to go, but just so happy that they got this episode done before the series ended. So it isn't like later on when the series ended, we all sit there and say, oh, I wish they would have done a Here's Negan thing. It's like, no, they did it. And I think it turned out awesome, man. As far as emotion is concerned, I think it turned out fantastic, and I'm actually surprised they were able to include as much as they did in this episode, because compared to the other bonus episodes, this one was extended and everything. It feels like this one probably, was as good as 3 or 4 of the bonus episodes combined, like maybe 3, 4, and 5 altogether. this was better than all three of those, or it's better than all the other episodes they did in the bonus episodes put together, I think. Definitely made it worthwhile. So that's it for Lucille. I guess she is put down, and that time for Negan is gone. He's kind of moving on. He's moving forward, and we'll see what they do with him in the future. Although we don't have that much time left. Just very glad they got this one done. Very faithful to the comics, but at the same time, much better, way more heartfelt than the comic version between Negan and Lucille. Not the Bat, but the real Lucille. So, very cool stuff. Amazing episode. Let me know how you guys felt about it. What was your favorite part? I like when he's playing video games and he's like talking trash to like teenagers, and she walks in and she's like, "What?" Hand on the hips, right? It's like, "What the hell are you doing?" It's like, oh man. And then even when she finds out that she has it and she's told and everything, he's not even there. And then she sees the times and stuff. It's like, oh man, Negan, man, what? God damn it. I almost feel worse for her than I do for Negan. It's like it's what it is. But anyway, that's my review for the episode, guys. I think it's just an amazing episode. So happy they got this done before the series ended, and it definitely makes Negan one of my all-time favorite. He's getting close. Like after this episode, I'd have to say, is he my all-time favorite Walking Dead character? Because you got Rick, you got Daryl, you got others like Shane, and so many others. But after watching this episode through, I'd have to say, man, is Negan my favorite character for the TV series? Like, he's got to be up there. He's definitely past Shane now and some of the others, but it's like, it's like Daryl, Rick, Negan. It's like, yeah, pretty much. He's right at the top there. So that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for watching over the years, guys, and everything. This is a great one, so enjoy it. Check it out if you haven't seen it, and certainly leave me a comment below on how you felt watching it. And we'll be back this weekend for the live stream, and I think there's an episode of Fear we'll have to review soon. So very happy with Here's Negan. They did it justice. Awesome stuff. And that's it for this review, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.